What's up, everybody? This is a special edition, special video here on the DawgsHQ YouTube channel because Georgia just landed a commitment, and it's a running back, 2025 kid out of Cedar Grove High School, Bo Walker, a combination of Bo Jackson and Herschel Walker, I hear. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. He's got a long way to go. But I got Jeremy Johnson here to talk with me about this kid. And Jeremy, you've seen him live, man. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. You saw him in person earlier this season. Tell us the circumstances and tell us what you thought.
Yeah, he's a really good football player. He's been kind of underrated, kind of under recruited a little bit just because he's been in a system that shares the football a little bit. I know he had some injuries last year. He can catch the football out of the backfield. He's very elusive. He's a shorter guy. I think he's around 5'8", maybe 5'6", 5'7", somewhere in there. But he's built stoutly. He's not a small guy, and he's really hard to tackle once you try to arm tackle him. So he's one of those slasher types that can, he'll get into that second level. He has a little get up to him too. He gets in that open field, he can really go and hit a home run. So I think it's a good pickup. He's a good little player, and definitely, Cedar Grove has a little bit of a pipeline to Georgia with Christian Miller and CJ Madden both already being there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you go all the way back to Justin Schaefer and some other really good players that have also played at Georgia. Notori Johnson signed with Georgia out of Cedar Grove. Pretty much a football factory. Who did you see him play? Where did you get a chance to see him play this year?
I think I saw him in the spring. I saw him in spring practice, and then I've seen him a lot. I saw him last year against in the state championship game when they played Sandy Creek, and then I saw him when they played Mill Creek last year as well. I think I saw him in his freshman year. I've seen him a bunch.
Okay.
But yeah, he's grown a lot as a player. And I think that's kind of where we've seen this recruitment kind of pick up. It's just because I know he camped this summer and he's taking some strides physically that, there's some stuff he didn't do last year that he's done so far in his film this year. And he's really grown up as a player. And I think, the best football that he's going to play is over the next couple of years.
And you watch these highlights, man. You're not. This is not him, going up against, schools with 500 students. You're talking about McEachern. You're talking about Colquitt County.
This is Westlake.
Yeah, this is Westlake. I mean, I was just going off some of the, film I'd seen. I know he had a really good game against Colquitt. I believe it was earlier this year.
Yeah.
I look at his film, Jeremy, and I see a guy that's got some all-purpose back qualities, some third down, catch the football type back qualities. But I also see a guy that you could probably hand it to on first and second down and can maybe take advantage of a defense that you've worn down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think he kind of prides himself on that too. I think he even mentions to me a little bit that he is an all-around running back. He doesn't feel like he's going to have to come off the field if he doesn't have to. I know he'll block. He's grown, like I said, he's grown a lot physically recently. So, he can run in between the tackles. He's not afraid to initiate that contact. And then he can get outside and he can do a little bit of this and scoot and get in the end zone and make some highlight reel plays. Got good hands, soft hands, has a good feel for the screen game. So, I see a lot of, I hate to do the comparison thing, but I just couldn't help but watching this film. I mean, I see a lot of Dajan Edwards, what Georgia has in him right now, a lot of that ability to get in the hole and get stopped and start and be able to readjust and make, get his shoulders back square and get downhill. Dajan is a guy that's, not a huge guy, but he's, like you said, like you mentioned, he can catch the football a little bit, and he also runs between the tackles pretty well also. So I see a lot of that in this guy's game as well.
Yeah, with Walker, maybe a tad bit more, maybe a little bit of an extra gear. Maybe, like you said, a little bit more giddy up there. He joins the Georgia running back class that already has, Jabri Wallace-Coleman from Philadelphia in there. Now, listen, he's a guy that's a well-out-of-state commitment. It's very, very early. Who knows, right? Who knows how it's going to end up? But, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch there because Wallace-Coleman reminds me a ton of Kenny McIntosh. I mean, I feel like he is almost like a Kenny McIntosh clone. Georgia now is sitting there with the number 2 class. And I'm interested to see where Bo Walker will be ranked because as of right now, I'm not seeing a whole lot. Is he ranked anywhere? Have we gotten anything on that yet?
I think he just got a ranking maybe as recently as this week. I think he's
okay. Yeah, he's a 3-star prospect. Yeah, we've got a couple of them in there.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that will go up once you kind of look at his film from this year. Just because he's finally the feature guy in that offense. Some of these guys they get, they play at these powerhouses. I mean, he's one of those that shared a lot of carries throughout his career. Rashad Dubinian, his freshman when Bo was a freshman, Rashad was the guy at Cedar Grove. But I noticed him just because he was able to go out there, and Rashad's playing for Arkansas as a sophomore. Has a big role for them, man. This young freshman was taking him off the field and getting reps from him. So I was like, this guy must be a good player. And sure enough, he's kind of developed into that over these last couple of years. But I'm interested to see, what happens, with this class. I know you got 3 in 2024 at running back. I wonder if this is a year where you look at maybe three again because, like you said, you have Jabri Wallace-Coleman already. Now you add Bo Walker. I mean, then you got other backs that like Osman Chroma that still very much is in play for Georgia, it appears. So I wonder just how much what's going to happen there. Like you said, it's very early, very different types of backs. So yeah.
And when you look at the 3 guys Georgia has committed for this current class, you've got Dwight Phillips, who is a speedster. You got Nate Frazier, who's a speedster, but maybe more of a traditional style tailback at like 5'10", 5'11", 205 pounds. Chauncey Bowens has the look of a workhorse. Absolutely. It almost, makes you like this guy and Jabri Wallace-Coleman maybe a little bit more because they're seeing 3 backs committed in the current class. And listen, that's one of the reasons I think there's some volatility here. You never know what staff is going to say it the right way to kind of get their attention.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys on the front end, at the very least, do not appear to be scared of competition. And I think that's something that you can't discount. But here we go with Georgia in this class. A very good, obviously ranked number 1 class in 2024. And, I'm sitting here looking at this 2025 class. Heck of a start for Georgia already in that one. Only Alabama, I believe, or Ohio State. Yes, Alabama that's ranked ahead. And Georgia's sitting there already with 7 commitments, for the 2025 class. Real quick, Jeremy, before we get going, who else is Georgia really, Georgia's got a chance to add their 8th. This is the 8th commitment for Georgia in 2025. I was looking at the wrong thing there. Who else is Georgia really in it for in 2025? Who would you think might have a chance to be the next guy?
Well, yeah, this class, you hit it a little bit where you're saying Georgia's already number 2. They got a lot of potential of growth in this class just because first of all, the state of Georgia is really packed, with good players. Obviously Zayden Walker is the name that keeps coming up.
Yeah.
David Sanders was just on campus, and it seemed like they really knocked it out of the park with him. I know he's
freak show, man. That cat is an absolute. I honestly believe he could probably be a 5-star at 3 different positions. Offensive tackle, defensive end. If there was a defensive end still, I don't think he's an edge, but I think he, old school strong side defensive end, the way we used to call it, or a defensive tackle. He is elite.
Absolutely. He's special. He's a guy that, obviously Georgia has 6 guys committed in 2024, but he's so good that it's like you're not telling him no. And the fact that he's even really considering Georgia, like you kind of mentioned with Jabri, like, hey, these guys aren't afraid to compete. He knows what the situation is in Athens, but if you're going anywhere, you're going to run into that type of competition. So he's one I have my eyes on. Zayden Walker. Obviously, I mentioned Osman Chroma, and then Elijah Griffin. Elijah Griffin has been to Georgia once this year already. Georgia's the big in-state school. He's the number 1 recruit in the state of Georgia in the class 2025. Big defensive lineman, plays 3 technique, 5 technique. He can do a little bit of everything. So I'm kind of interested to see what happens with him as well. I know South Carolina's kind of in there. Clemson's another program that he seems to really like as well. So that's gonna be a long battle. I don't think that one's anywhere close to being done. You need to kind of keep Jaden Perlati on board, 4-star linebacker out of Beaufort, who's hinted at maybe looking around a little bit, but he's still committed at the moment. So that's gonna be
still committed, still getting on campus.
He's been on campus a lot. Yeah. And then obviously you got going through some of the names here. Juan Gasson at Westlake's another one that I'm really looking at. I think Georgia's in a good spot there early on. I know that one's probably, a little ways away, but he cut it down a little bit, and I really like where Georgia is in that one. And a guy that's not ranked that I really like watching, and I think that Georgia's in a good spot with him as well. Maybe not his leader at the moment, but Travis Smith Jr., another Warren Gaston's teammate over at Westlake, he's a receiver. He's unranked right now, but I mean, he's putting together a really good junior campaign. Big frame. He's willing to, I mean, he even mentioned a little bit, I talked to him recently that he's not even afraid to play tight end potentially at 6'4", 200 pounds already. So, they've got a lot of meat on the bone in that class, and it has a chance to be one of those big foundational classes if they are able to land, half of these guys we have mentioned so far. So it's a big opportunity, that class. 2024 is a good class also. So, the rich keep getting richer in Athens for sure.
All right, folks, you can take the information to the bank. Jeremy just spilled it on you. And Bo Walker, Georgia's 8th commitment in the 2025 class, another running back, headed to running back U to kind of restock the cupboard there. We got you covered from here on out. Come on over to DawgsHQ, 1 month for $1. We'd love to have you. And y'all man, I'm spilling all over my words, getting a little nervous because the Braves playing tonight. Y'all take it easy. 1 month for $1, and we'll catch you later on.